Dan Patrick Show brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Driver's Seat, the 2018 Mercedes-Benz E-Class with a suite of innovative technologies. It's one of the most intelligent cars on the road. Go to MBUSA.com or visit your local dealership to schedule your test drive today. He is America's guest. He is South Korea's guest, the former NASCAR driver, now NBC Winter Olympics correspondent, Dale Earnhardt Jr. What exactly is your role at the Olympics?
The one thing that I keep hearing is fish out of water. So it's similar to what I was doing at the Super Bowl with you guys. I go and experience something new, and we try to catch my reactions and my thoughts. And basically, we're running around and seeing a lot of events. And by the end of the week, before the closing ceremony, we'll try to capture some of my impressions and see if that's TV magic or not.
What's your highlight so far? The highlight of the trip has been what?
I got a chance to, this is my first Olympics, but everything is overwhelming and everything is just to the extreme visually, and it's hard to pick one thing. I got a chance today to interview the pilots from the four-man bobsled teams, and I really learned a lot. I think we're going to put a little piece together, and I hope that everybody gets to see that, because I thought it was really educational. I just learned so much about what they're doing, and there's a lot more to it than you think, and there's a lot of comparisons to racing and NASCAR. I did a voiceover for another spot that has some connection to the military bases here, which I'm very happy that I was able to do, and I think people are going to like that. The short track speed skating that we saw tonight is something that I've been tuned into since the Olympics started this year, the last several weeks. It's like Bristol, it's like NASCAR on ice, and it's aggressive and can be catastrophic. And there's just a lot going on there, but it's fun, and it's really, really popular here in South Korea. So the arena is full of energy, and it's like a sporting event, popular sporting event that you'd go to back home. There's a lot of energy, and the crowd's really into what they're seeing, so that makes it a lot of fun. And actually, one last thing, we saw the women's U.S. hockey team win gold today. That was so there were so many emotions in that arena with the Canadians losing. They were sad. It was hard to, your heart went out to them, and then, America pulling through and winning on a shootout. That was really dramatic, and it was just something to witness. I couldn't believe that I actually was there to see it in person.
Do you get recognized in South Korea?
Just by a couple people that are, there's not that many people over here that know who I am, I'm afraid.
Wait, but that could be a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be anonymous, I suppose, walking down the street. And yeah, I mean, it's okay.
What's the sport that you would like to try, or you might be good at?
I think, the one that relates closely for me is bobsledding. When I was a little kid watching the Olympics, I always gravitated toward the bobsled because you're driving something, you're in some sort of vehicle. And I learned today that there's a lot of comparisons to how they actually train and have to set the sled up. I mean, it's as important that they're in shape and able to do what they do as a team together. It's as important that the sled handles the track well, and the track surface can be different, and that would require them to adjust and tune the sled. A lot of the guys that have crew chiefs and mechanics, some of the crew chiefs actually have come from NASCAR backgrounds. One of the guys that I met today worked at Penske on the IndyCar side. Another guy that I met today that actually knew my grandfather, Robert G., that worked in NASCAR. So it's pretty interesting. I think that's where I would probably fit in the most. I certainly don't have the build for it. Those guys are huge, and they're pushing a lot of power to get that sled moving at the start, and that would be somewhere where I'd fall pretty short. But otherwise, I don't know. I think that it'd be fun to try to drive one. I've talked to Nick, one of the pilots, about coming up to Salt Lake City and or Lake Placid and getting a run in and actually figuring out how to do that.
You got 4 years for the next Winter Olympics. That's enough time for you, Junior. You're retired. Put on a little extra weight. You're ready to go.
Well, you can always hope and dream, I suppose. So I'm probably going to go up there and try it, and I'll let you know how I do.
We're talking to Dale Jr. as he's, of course, the former NASCAR driver. It's weird to say that, former NASCAR driver. Is it weird for you to hear that?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I mean, it's still pretty new into the transition. I say transition because I can't find a better word for it. But a lot of people say, "Hey, how's retirement?" And I'm getting used to saying I'm back to work, and I'm just really kind of diving into this new challenge of working with NBC, and it's I don't really know much about broadcasting, and I don't really have a background like I have a background in racing, and it's such a new world for me, and there's a lot to grasp and a lot that keeps your mind busy, and I think that helps me not think about racing or miss racing as much. And NBC's worked me a lot since we went to the Super Bowl. We're here in South Korea, so I've not had a whole lot of time to sit down and think, and I've not had a whole lot of time to be bored and let my mind run. So I went to the Daytona 500 to do the Grand Marshal and give the command, and I had a great time. I mean, I really enjoyed being there. I didn't really miss being in the race. It was fun to watch it. It was fun to be a fan. I always say, and I don't know if people really understand what this means, but I always say that I was a fan first before I ever became a driver. I was going to the races, watching my dad, pulling for him, pulling for other people. So it was not as hard as I thought to sort of move back into that role of just being a fan of what I love about racing.
How strange was it to see that number 3 take the checkered flag?
It's not that strange for me because I know the family really well. I don't know why people have such a hard time connecting Austin to Richard and how he's part of that's his family team. For me, it just makes a lot of sense. And I was proud for Austin. I'm proud. I know personally. I mean, from an emotional standpoint, I'm happy for Richard because I know what Dad meant to him, and I know how that makes him feel to see the 3-car have success or see RCR have success. He misses Dad terribly, and I know that was a pretty neat deal for him. But the other side of me sees the future in Austin and what Austin means to that team as a driver and how he's going to carry that company forward. And it's his family company. I mean, this is this is not – people act like this is so uncommon, but a lot of drivers got their jobs or got their starts through family, and I was one of them as well. But it was a great result. I was pretty happy with. Austin's got this weird style too. He's got this he's different as far as what he likes and how he portrays himself and how he brands himself on social media. Mm-hmm. And I think that's good for our sport. I really do. He adds a lot of color. And so I told him when he won, I said, you're going to have a lot of fun celebrating this as you go through all the media that you have to do after this win. And just be you, and be as, he went, he would go on Good Morning America or something like that with a plaid suit. I mean, he's just him, and I think we need that. We need a lot of color, and
you need personalities. Have you had any good food over there in South Korea? Barbecue?
Well, we did go to the Korean barbecue, and it's not. I knew it wasn't like American barbecue because I've been talking to Rutledge the whole time he's been here and seeing some of the social media stuff that he posted. The Korean barbecue is pretty fun. It's pretty straightforward. You just get a lot of meat and you throw it on this grill, and there's not a lot of seasoning or marinade or anything like that. It's just meat straight up. But I'm definitely, I haven't had any Western food since I've been here. So I've been trying to learn as much about the cuisine as I am trying to learn about the culture and everything else. Everybody here is super duper nice. I'll say that about South Korea. They're really, really polite people. And so that makes it a great time.
All right. Well, have fun in your remaining days there, and then when you get back, we'll touch base. I'll call you and we'll talk.
Do you think that when I come home, I'm going to set up a trip to Salt Lake City to ride in one of them bobsleds? You think you want to take a trip down the track with me? I mean, there's 4 seats in that thing, and I think that they'll give us a driver and a brake man, and me and you can have the second, third seat. That sounds like a great plan.
Okay, are my arms around you or your arms around me?
We can work all that out when we get there.
How about we flip a coin, okay?
All right, that's the deal.
Okay, I'm all in.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Junior.
All right,
have fun. Safe travels. Dale Jr.
Take care, man.
All right. Former NASCAR driver, Dale Jr., NBC Winter Olympics correspondent.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.